a new Autopilot crash investigation, a new Model 3 improvement via OTA update, and good guy Tesla is at it again. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 353 for January 25th, 2018. We started Electrek, where, unfortunately, we have news of another NTSB investigation against Tesla regarding Autopilot. On the 22nd, a Culver City driver rammed into the back of a fire truck parked on the highway for an accident at a reported 65 miles per hour. A quick side note that I'm only just now bringing this to you, not because of the NTSB news, but because the first story I read only stated that Autopilot may have been enabled without stating definitively that it was. But, as the Electrek article states here, the driver did claim that Autopilot was enabled. Thankfully for all involved, nobody was injured in the crash. But, because Autopilot was claimed to be involved, the NTSB tweeted on the 23rd, quote, "Two NTSB investigators from HQ to conduct field investigation of January 22nd crash involving a Tesla and fire truck near Culver City, California. Focus of field investigation is driver and vehicle factors," end quote. The last investigation into the unfortunate death of Joshua Brown found Autopilot to function as designed, since it was never intended to control for the situation that caused the crash. If we take everything at face value from this most recent incident, I think we'll get a different finding. If the car truly was on Autopilot and couldn't detect the enormous fire truck in the road, that is certainly a huge issue. Personally, I think the driver, much like the drunken driver pulled over recently, is looking for a scapegoat for their own inattentiveness to the road. I can't imagine Autopilot wouldn't have seen an enormous fire truck blocking the road. The only plausible explanation that I can come up with if Autopilot truly was enabled was that because the fire truck was angularly blocking the lane as seen in the pictures in the tweet, it confused the system. Regardless of why, let me take this as an opportunity to remind everyone to always be ready to take over for Autopilot at all times, and for goodness sakes, if you see an obvious hazard in the road, don't assume Autopilot is going to handle it. Take over immediately and be safe. Next up from Teslarati, we see another tangible improvement in Model 3 thanks to an over-the-air update. Per the article, many Model 3 owners have noted that the quality of the car's rear camera has been found lacking as compared to Model S and Model X. Owner Doug Martaccia posted to the Model 3 Facebook group that his camera quality seemingly improved following a trip to the service center, which resulted in a firmware push to the car. The photos posted definitely show a significant before and after difference. A Tesla spokesperson then further confirmed to Teslarati that they were indeed working to improve the camera's picture quality over time. Some still say that the fisheye effect of the camera is too prominent, and this goes to show that something like that could be addressed if Tesla chose to do so. Finally, an awesome feel-good story to close the night. A hat tip to Bonnie Norman for posting the story to her Twitter feed, as we check out Facebook to find another example of good guy Tesla doing what they do yet again. Alan Miller relates to us the unfortunate story of his friend Matthew Chan, who suffers from stage 4 colon cancer. In an effort to get Matt off the couch and to enjoy life, he asks him what he'd like to do together. After not allowing him to give a boring answer like stay home and watch movies, Matthew finally says, quote, "Well, if I could meet J.B. Straubel or Franz von Holzhausen, I'd give you my next born," end quote. Matt, much like all of us, is a Tesla superfan, owning 2 cars and plenty of other Tesla things on top of it. Alan questioned why not Elon, which elicited an interesting and very personal response. Quote, "I want to meet the man behind the man, the one who is told to get the job done and has to figure out how to do it, because that's who I am," end quote. So Alan gets to work for an oblivious Matt to make this dream a reality. With a huge team of folks with Tesla contacts at his disposal, Alan arranges to make this happen. The plan was a personalized tour of the factory, followed by a meet and greet with Franz and JB. But they got an unexpected bonus. After taking a very behind-the-scenes tour of the factory, Matt gets to meet Franz. After an hour of going through all the things that make Franz tick and inspired him in the design of the cars, Franz invites Matt to test drive a Model 3 with him. While waiting for their car to arrive, another Model S rolls to a stop in front of them. Elon himself gets out and comes over to have a chat with Matt for a few minutes, takes some photos, and then heads into the factory. Alan recounts the quote of the article, mentioning that he said that he thought that this was a 1 in a million moment that just happened. But the driver, who works for the Tesla showroom that had been taking them around, corrected him, saying, quote, "No, that was a 1 in a billion moment. I've never seen anything like that," end quote. The day ended with Franz signing the dash of Matt's car and everyone heading home. My kudos to everyone that made this happen. As I state over and over again, this is just one of the many reasons it's so easy to support this company. Tesla does this not for publicity, but because the people that work there are by and large just outstanding human beings. Do yourself a favor and go check out that post, as there are many pictures, including video of Mac getting out of a Model 3 and meeting Elon. Make sure you check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're at it, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks so much to the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, John Rich, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, and Adam Raymer Brown. If you can't support the show with dollars, please be sure to show your love with positive reviews and subscriptions on YouTube, iTunes, and other services across the internet, or use the show referral code ts.la/JON4602 if you're in the market for a new Tesla. It's good for free supercharging for the life of the vehicle. But hurry, there's less than a week left to get that offer. That's it for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.